So yes all, a very good morning and a wholeheartedly welcome you all for Enlightened Educators and actually yesterday we discussed regarding this particular question paper on what types of questions are coming, and we discussed the main important things, that is we have already mentioned that so we should be studying with reasoning and quants that takes us to a very good result, that is for 60 marks. And we have also discussed that like say if we have the any of the exam, so we should satisfy the question paper first, which is taking us to a good result, right? So yeah, anyhow whatever exam you get, so first please don't just blindly open the book, because blindly opening the book is not that good, right? Many of them who have a book which is consisting of the topics from the quants and the questions from the quants, that is completely in general, which applies to all the examination. But if you have a book, say for example 40 years PYQ or 20 years PYQ, or PYQ books, like say for example if for any exam, say RBI Assistant previous year PYQ books, and you have a book, so if that is the book, you can study, because that's having the previous year question papers and you understand how the pattern is coming. So start solving with those kinds of books, because if you understand the pattern of previous year, then it will be completely most easy to make sure that we will clear the exam well. Fine. Okay. So now, as we discussed, on the reasoning and English should be completely gaining some good results. So now let's see from what and all we would be doing from the quants. Okay, and I would be discussing what we'll be taking up in the upcoming session, and today we'll start with the good session also along with this. Okay, in this quants we would be doing with quadratic equation, that's question number 1, and we would also be doing with, let's go to data interpretation in the later stages, let's not go with that. So in the data interpretation, so what is the matter is, let us learn all the concepts and basics, say percentage in basics, or average in basics, or the ratio and proportion and basics, because these are all some kind of not too complex question, just a basic question. Complex question comes separately, but basic questions are given in this particular by using the data. So let's only work it out regarding those things. Okay, basic. In the later stages we would be focusing first on passing packages, because we don't want to lose marks here. If we lose minus 0.25, then it's a huge loss. So how it will be yesterday discussed. I also told that it is 50 marks if you got as a correct, 50 if it is wrong, then 50 into 0.25. So if you do 50 into 0.25, we would be yielding with some 12.5, and that 12.5 will get subtracted with 50, right? It will get subtracted with 50. So if you subtract 50 minus 12.5, we are here with 37.5, guys, 37.5. Where is 50 and where is 37.5? Correct. So that is why, so as I was new to this exam, so I did not had any idea that this would affect me a lot, and from one of the exam I got to know regarding that, and I was like, okay, so let me not do that. This is not a university exam to attempt all the questions. And what do they say in university exams, that if you don't attempt any question you will lose the marks, and but here if you attempt the question and if the answer is wrong, you lose the marks. Where is 50 and where is 37.5? Correct. So if anybody is attempting this exam in a new way, ಹೊಸಬ್ರು ಯಾರು attempt ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, new persons who are attempting this exam, you are the very first one to attempt the exam for the first time. So please do make sure that you make a note of it. Okay, so I'm here to tell you all the things that is really much important for you all. So that is what. So we'll be taking with this question mark questions, that is the what I can say, simplification questions and addition, subtraction, normal questions. So this one we'll be doing it a lot. So this will help you gain some good results. Okay, so first, whenever you encounter an exam, please try to understand. Please see the question paper. Please see your areas which helps you crack your exam. Don't just study all the things by pressure, because if anything is complex to you, if you try to understand that, if you put lot of pressure into your mind, that doesn't go into your head. 200% that doesn't go into your head, and that will create a chaos to you, and it will affect the other topics also that you are studying. So don't give pressure to any of the topics. Okay, now, so if you have left a topic, so after you finish your exam, if you don't have any exam coming up in line, and if you are completely free, please try to practice that day by day. Okay, start with basics, start with understanding the concept, moving forward, like that we can do, right? So that is what I learned, because I thought of not putting pressure to any of the topics which I even don't know, and which I even don't have an idea. Because see, if you at least learn the basics, in some of the exams basics directly don't come for exam, right? So we have to see the questions first. That is what I taught. If anybody feels like, okay, if I don't know this topic, at least let me learn the basics. No, basics learning is nothing but you just learn what are the formulas ashte. Nothing you learn. But if the questions are not in the basic format, in a very direct and simple format, if the question is much higher in version, then if you waste studying the time on these topics with respect to the basics, then it will be a like time waste for you. You can study other topic within that period what you use for learning the basics of these topics, right? So that is why I always tell to see the question paper. So I was also doing the same while studying these exams, because I had a good idea on seeing the question paper. Literally, what happened to me was like I couldn't even see any of the other materials. I always go focused with the question papers. I don't know why. So because that was also like others I used to see, but question paper was my first priority. Like not much looking completely at others. My question paper was first priority. I used to study. If there were lots of question paper, I was totally satisfied one single question paper. Then I used to work it out with how the questions are coming up on those papers with the other materials. That was I used to follow. So that is why please do it out. Don't waste your time. See the questions and work according to that. Okay, and this is the age. This is pipe A and this is pipe and cistern, and discount we can, okay, this is mensuration, and this is partnership. Okay, this is the downstream, this is the water, and this is the boat and stream, and this is your work, that is time and work. Okay, and in the mensuration part, your basics will work out sometime, because if you understand the formula, if you understand what are the terminologies present in the formula, say what is for example area, in the case of rectangle or square is equal to, like you can say length into breadth into height, if for any area. So then what is that going to happen is that, what is L, what is B, what is H? L is length, B is breadth, and H is height, right? Like that. Okay, so that if you understand the abbreviation, so then you will get to know. Okay, so then you will get to know. Okay, for area of square and rectangle, it is length into breadth. If height is present, we can add it out, right? So that is what is one thing. So if you understand the abbreviation of all these things, say what are they telling? Okay, what are they telling? So then what is that going to happen is that, so we would be uh, you know we would be like, say, what is that going to happen is that we would be most welcome to solve the problems. Okay, most welcome to solve the problems. As I told you, length into breadth also you can take, or length into width also you can take. Height comes in some of the cases in the other figures. So this is length into breadth. If you can see, this is length and breadth. If you understand this much sufficient, you can solve it, because here see they've asked area of the circle and the rectangle. See, area is already given, and the ratio of radius of the circle to the length of the rectangle. So this is length of the rectangle, and this is the radius of the circle. So if you understand these terminologies aligned with the formula, and the formula is containing some notations, and if you understand the terminologies of the notations, you can at least solve these problems on mensuration. So mensuration is of that kind. Mensuration has not much complexities. Mensuration doesn't have much complexities. You should have the idea to use up the formulas and clear the this thing. So we can do mensuration, it's not a problem. Okay. And in this data, as I told you, this is data interpretation we'll be seeing in the later stages. So these are all we would be doing, and how we would be taking these classes too till your exam. We have the exams on the 11th, and from today it is how many days we are having. So if we can calculate, from today we are having okay, wait a minute. Yeah, we have 20 days equal to 20 days we have. So 20 days we have, and in 20 days we can do some part of magic if we learn all these topics along with quants topic, along with reasoning and the English, right? Yeah. So let's see about the competition. Competition is also very high because many of them from the other places have applied, and mainly I could observe that North Indians take a more results. They sometimes say we have got 98, we have got 99, and we have written for 80 marks and all. So they are more, they get more marks actually. Obviously, North Indians I've seen. Before I used to see many of the videos wherein they used to say, ma'am, we have got 98, or sir, we have got 98, 99, and some 90 marks or 88 or 85 marks like that. So they gain more marks actually. So we people from this Karnataka has to beat them is quite a bit difficult. So we have to work along with them. So that is what competition aligns with. Competition is only from the marks itself. It only from the marks itself, and also category happens to take place sometime because of same marks has been got from many people. So they check with their age, or they check with the marks, and they check with the category, and according to that also they get selected. So there are various other factors that works out with even after we get the marks. So we should be more you know careful with, and we should also see how many vacancies are there and how many people they take, right? How many people they filter, and what is the cutoff, and all those things we have to work it out. So that is why these sets of things what we told will align with the cutoff also. With align with the cutoff also. It is how much the students take, according to that it comes with. Okay. So then how do we take up these classes? We take up these classes in a wonderful way. What is my thought is, from these days what I am having a journey with, like only 3 to 4 months of journey, but I have understood some things which I felt good. So what I was working out with my normal curriculum, the same plan also I have it here. So what happens is, when you understand a topic or you start with a topic, so please do start with complete basics. So we are starting with complete basics. We are understanding the very important things that is very much needed. Say for example, if you see this topic, so we can see there is a word called immediate, and we can see there's a word called between, and you can see there is a word called facing outside, facing inside, and all other things. We can see neither and nor also there, and there are many other things that we can see. So all these things will be satisfied. What and all the words that we get, and the keywords, and what do they mention, and if that keywords is coming, what we would be doing. And in the say we can see many of the arrangement: linear, circular, table, rectangular arrangement, and like facing, some facing north, some facing south, or all are facing north. And in the circular arrangement we can see that some facing outwards and some facing inwards, and all those things. Okay. And but one thing to tell you, this exam is not that complex because this is an assistant exam, not an officer. Okay, if you understand one assistant level of exam, all other assistant level will not be that difficult for us, right? Yeah, and we'll be going in deep with the concept, complete deep with the concepts, and we would be also understanding on how to solve the problems that we encounter in the upcoming stages. I will be taking up with a good plan and neat system, because it is not just doing a video and taking a lot of time. Still took a lot of time, but we discussed many things, I hope. And this time I will not be dragging the video more. I will not be taking the video more into things. And what we would be doing is we'll be taking up with a neat plan and a neat understanding. We'll be going with each and every topic, each and every concept, and we would be understanding all the things in the detail, okay. So it is not like working out of all the problems that you get. Say for example, in today's market we are getting a lot of videos on YouTube. I was also seeing those before. Okay, they used to solve, till now they solve a lot of problems regarding quant separate section and reasoning separate section and all others, and they try to solve the problem. But one thing I wanted to mention is, please try to understand that. So it is not just looking at all those problems and solving without knowing the basics. Some things you won't understand. Without solving the basics, some things you won't understand. So I kindly request you to listen to these basic classes that we take up along with the problems that we encounter. So these type of problems in whatever exam we encounter, it is not just RBI, in whatever exam we encounter, I'll be taking and doing it, so that so that we can solve along with the and get the result. Okay, so this is what is all for this short class. And from today I will be starting with English as well as reasoning, because this is the scoring topics that you can gain grasp on, and we would be more safer, because this is more safer than GK. As I mentioned yesterday, GK has lots of topics and we have to study lots of things, and we can't